Alright, so this was made by Airspace Science class that we normally do our daily journals. Alright, so this is by mistakes. I did something by mistake is tripping on something, or it could be the accident that I made. Or it could be all. Like, I would intervene about the subject of what I get a little cranky. I just get more approved. I would have stayed in Miss Sharman's class. I know that I said it like a million times. I know that I can like shut the hell up about it, but it's not gonna work because I do miss being in Miss Sharman's class. I mean, I could have stayed in her class, and I knew what Mr. Brayton would look like. I knew what he was gonna act like. I knew he was gonna act like a fucking retard. I mean, look at him. He's a fucking ass, okay? Like a fucking dumbass. Alright, this was made by Social Studies, which was Bill Clinton. This is him right here. This is Bill Clinton as a child. And this is his family. This is his sisters. William Clinton, August 19th, 1946, age 71, still living, Hope, Arkansas. You guys know this. Guys, I'm looking up on the links. There's him playing the saxophone. Here's him. I already did the one that was in a different assignment that has been in 113 or 114. They can check him out if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and watch you do that. It's okay. You can do it pretty fairly. Alright, let's do the... I was gonna click on the story, but I don't know. Alright, let's do the... Let's do the reason... Let's do the copy of the reason is because pre-reading in A-levels. Alright, we're gonna read that story. This is from AM Lit Core, 11th grade. So, this might be a long story, but, alright, this is a pre-reading understanding, which is brainstorming. This is the author, Mania Munoz. Alright, the title is of our next story is called The Reason Is Because. The Mexican American called.
The title of our next story is called The Reason Is Because. The Mexican-American author Manuel M. Untitled said that
Munoz.
the story was a way for me to deal with what has been a long-standing problem in my fiction, how to name the violence that shapes the people I write about, the people I love, without veering into stereotype. He also said that while the story was complex, the title became a helpful guide. It's an informal usage. The reason is because, a grammar that is sometimes corrected, even when what comes next is perfectly understood. I imagined Nella beginning a lot of her sentences that way, trying to explain. But I know that the answers will never be enough.
True.
Instructions: before you read the short story, brainstorm some controversial and problematic social topics, issues in the world. Some are newer issues, while some have been around since the beginning of time. Choose 3 topics, issues below that have no obvious reason or explanation for being that way. But then dig deeper and choose one tough issue that you think you can form somewhat of an explanation for why they exist. For instance, it may be difficult to come up with a reason that death exists, but maybe you can try to develop a personal explanation for why war exists in the world, such as war exists because natural resources are limited. Circle or highlight 3 issues below that have no obvious reason for existing. For instance, why does terrorism exist? The reason is because there is no clear reason.
Yeah.
Then choose one other issue that you actually do understand its reason for existing, and write a 3+ sentence explanation on the lines below arguing for why you think this issue exists in.
Okay, so let me tell you the words. Abortion, absent parents, abuse, adolescence, adultery, alcoholism, betrayal, bullying, crude language, cruelty, depression, disabilities, discrimination, gender roles, greed, grief, guilt, Holocaust, hypocrisy, infidel, infidelity, infidelity, uh, injustice, materialism, mental health issues, misogyny, neglect, parental death, political conflict, poverty, racism, rape, rebellion against authority, running away, single parenting, suicide, terrorism, violence, and war.
The first place. One topic that you can actually explain bullying issues can be intimidate to around by making the stop process of it goes a bit kind to stop the war of
Danger.
Literary analysis. The reason is because instructions, as you read the story, identify 5 examples that show Nella's personal values, or cultural beliefs or things that she uses as personal guidelines. Then contrast that with 5 examples that show Nella's behaviors and actions. Then, draw conclusions about which one is more significant in the end for Nella. Nella's values, abstract, Nella's actions, concrete. Nella's process, at least facing into my ability. Useful is the significant of kind. It lurks whenever it means. Good kind ahead in the clear. Action of the legal mission. Lot of things happen really. So many things. Literally it means the outside fact. Interesting of it means draw conclusions. 2-3 sentences. What is the most significant reason for Nella's actions in the end, or personal values deep down, or her impulsive desires? What is the ultimate theme or message of the story?
Okay, so that's it. So the next one we'll be doing is, like I said, I have to guess myself first because you guys know me, obviously. I just get confused of which assignment to do because I like all the assignments that I could read for a long time period. But I don't have much time because I will be logging off for today. Alright, let's do adoption agency assignment. So the background is, as soon as it pops up, I'll be able to read it for her.
You work for an adoption agency. Your agency will have 25 infants to place in adoptive families this year. About 1,000 families will apply to adopt these infants, so only a few will actually get to adopt. You and your co-workers will be interviewing all 1,000 families and deciding which families to approve, which are the best for the babies whose futures you hold in your hands. Only the families you and your co-workers approve will be listed for birth parents to choose from. Task. As a group, or by yourself, brainstorm the qualifications that you think should be required for adoptive families. You will need 1. A name for your adoption agency. 2. A motto for the agency. 3. 15 quality characteristics jobs that you think these families should have. Examples: house money, respect. 4. 10 things that would make a family an automatic no. Examples: a drug addiction, abusive history. 5. Included in your submission, definitions, explanations for the following terms. A. Illegal market adoption. B. Adoption agency. C. Independent adoption. D. Closed adoption. E. Open adoption. F.
Me and Scotty did some of those, and Jasmine did some of those one time. Alright, let's do the white ghost, white ghost. White ghost, what do you see? I see a black cat. What? I see a black cat looking at me. Black cat, what do you see? I see a green goblin looking at me. Green goblin, what do you see? I see a brown owl looking at me. Brown owl, what do you see? I see a red mask looking at me. Red mask, what do you see? I see a black bat looking at me. Black bat, what do you see? I see a jack-o'-lantern staring at me. Happy Halloween. Yeah, I actually made that up, to be honest. I actually did that in class. It's probably around like third period. Well, I did something in third period. I actually left early for third period to walk around, but I didn't get caught though. So and I want to and I finished it up for the rest of the period, for rest of fourth period. So yeah. All right, worksheet for President Bill Clinton. When is his birthday? Where was he born? Where did he go to university? So period 6 for social studies. What was his job? Who was his vice president? Who was his party? How many terms did he serve? Who was his wife? What instrument does he play? What awards did he get? I could just put it, what is his date of birth? That's what I was gonna put. Who is that knocking on my door? I must admit I'm a little scared. I'm opening it and what do I see? Who is that knocking on my door? I must admit that I'm a little scared. I open it and what do I see? A scary old witch, and she's laughing at me. Hee hee hee. Who's that knocking on my door? I must admit that I'm a little scared to open it. And what do I see? A green monster is growling at me. Grrr. Now I'm locking out that door. I'm not going to be so scared as much as I used to. I'm in my costume and I'm ready to be the one who is scaring you. Boo! Yeah, I just did it for fun. I don't know why. I just miss being a kid, so I decided to do as a memory. Just what I've done. Alright, this video ends at 10:29, just so you know. But I'll be logging off at 10:30. Alright, let's do greenest group. Alright, greenest group. Blue is do. White is what it looks like. What is what it means. What is what it actually is made of. Pink is parts. White is where it is found. Orange, what else do you know? A cake is food. So the greenest group is definitely what group you're in. Any food groups or drink groups, that can be it. Blues do, you can do something to it. What it looks like, you can actually see what it looks like. What it's actually made of, what do you think it's actually made of when you feel it. Parts, what parts do they have? Where is it found? Where is it locatedly found? What else do you know? What else do you have questions about it? A cake is a food. You can eat a cake. A cake is pink and white. The cake is made of frosting. It has a candle. We find a cake at the store. We would bake it in the oven. and Jake putted save for Horner. Do you like to eat pie? Of course I do. I like it. Do you like to eat pie? I love apples. I will rake the leaves. It is so windy today. Do you know how to make pie? Is that an apple tree? I want to pick apples today. I am going to get a big pumpkin. That's what Jake did. He did it for me, and I did some of them while I was in life skills. Jake did some of them for me because he likes to hang out with me a lot. We were in the car one time, and we were driving to his house, and my mom drove him to his house, and she drove me to my house last. So yeah. All right, let's do let's do Arctic, a very cold what? Den and home under the snow. Fur, the furry coat, a polar bear. Cub, a baby polar bear. A baby. Den, alright, Arctic, a very cold. Den, a home under the snow. Fur, the furry coat and the polar bear. Cub, a baby polar bear. Blubber, the fat layer. Male polar bears can be 10 feet 3 meters tall and weigh up to 1,700 pounds, 771 kilograms. Polar bears spend much of their lives on the ice hunting for seeds. Female polar bears usually only have two cubs, and they have these babies in the cave that they've dug in a large of snow. On sunny days, the polar bear's hair traps the sun's heat to keep the bear warm. Alright, let's do the how to read a poem. So we did the poem in Amlet Core. So I am going to let her read for me. So I don't know, just why not? Whenever it pops up, I can read it for her. Some of them for her. So Mr. Spencer recorded a video here. If you guys want to check it out, if you guys are in Mr. Spencer's class, if you want to work how to read a poem, you can look at the video here. You can click on that.
Reading a poem properly is a skill, like a muscle that can be developed. It can be difficult to reading a poem, like reading a person, but the more you practice, the more meaning and significance you can get out of it. Always read the poem
No pain, no gain.
out loud if possible, and mark it up. Write in the margins, react to it, get involved. Mr. Spencer recorded a video here. First, complete the questions for Claude McKay's America, then complete questions for the tradition by Jericho Brown on the back. There are 10 total.
Yep.
1. Consider the title of the poem carefully. America. What does it tell you about the poem's subject, tone, and genre? What does it promise? It seems awesome and tragic. Maybe the poet wants to define any world as it seems. 2. Consider the sound and rhythm of America. Is there a pattern to the rhythm? Does the poet use rhyme? What effect does the lack of rhyme have? There is a theme that rhymes with the other line if that matters or makes sense. 3. All poems usually feature a shift or a turn of some sort. Where does the poem either turn directions, change subjects, or feature an increase of intensity? Describe the type of shift and note the specific line number. Definitely a feature common or some subject about which the poem seems to be adjusted together, and 4 would be perfect. 4. 4. Finally, ask about the poem America, so what? What does the poem do? What is its purpose, especially as it relates to the American dream? How would you summarize the message of this poem in your own words? It helps the mind of play by understanding examples of what you can do at this track. 5. 5. Consider the title of the poem on the second page of Poems carefully. The tradition. What does it tell you about the poem's subject, tone, and genre? What does it promise? It promises to achieve things in life no matter what you choose by its history. 6. 6. Consider the sound and rhythm of the tradition. Is there a pattern to the rhythm? Does the poet use rhyme? What effect does the lack of rhyme have? I guess it has the relationships to each other by that familiar suggestion. 7. 7. All poems usually feature a shift or a turn of some sort. Where does the poem either turn directions, change subjects, or feature an increase of intensity in the tradition? Describe the type of shift and note the specific line number. It changes in directory, and the number 4 could be the choice I might want to make so far. 8. 8. Consider the words that are italicized throughout: aster, nasturtium, delphinium, and stargazer, foxglove, cosmos, and baby's breath. What do you think these are? Look them up on Google if you are unsure. Foxglove is like a productive generation of the roots of a matter of understanding benefits. 9. 9. Why are the names in the last line italicized? Look them up on Google if you are unsure. They are italicized because some names have a determined format. Citation. 10. 10. Finally, ask about the poem The Tradition. So what? What does this poem do? What is its purpose, especially as it relates to the American dream? How would you summarize the message of this poem in your own words? A point is what obviously matters when they have a common religion or in a relationship. A point is what obviously matters when they have a common religion or in a relationship. The tradition is more familiar than I thought of, so it can be a good explanation of the benefits of how the routine goes or matters of a very generation's achievement. It could afford many dreams that you get in your life, and it makes the composite action of how you remember and recognize anything you could think whatsoever.
This is the guy that can remember. Alright, so this video will end around 10 minutes or so. But I do want to add more definition of Jake's comments. One of Jake's words that he puts on my random Google Doc that I wanted to show you guys. It's pretty hilarious, I promise. The caterpillar's creature is an egg, the beginning of the butterfly's life cycle. Larva, the second stage of metamorphosis cycle. Another name for caterpillar. Puella, the third stage of metamorphosis. Another name for the chrysalis. Adult, the final stage of a butterfly's life cycle. The stages that the creature goes through to reach the adulthood. That's what I've done since almost 3 days ago. And here's it hatching. And here is the caterpillar here. Here's a butterfly. I know it's large, but okay. And here's a butterfly here. That's been growing up so far. Stag beetle life cycle. Adult eggs, first instar, second instar, third instar, pupa, and adult. That's how life cycles go. So that's what we learned about caterpillars, is because caterpillars are really interesting to know about how caterpillars do in general. Just in general, that we have to learn about caterpillars in general. Because I know what caterpillars are coming from. I can tell which ones are going. I can tell you that. I was going on a fishing trip with my grandpa I was going on a fishing trip with my grandpa. I have gone with him so many times before. However, I have no idea how this different trip was going to be in a different. Around 46, we used to have a fishing trip around my grandpa. Sometimes my dad will normally come. Sometimes I do fishing normally. We have not been doing fishing for a long time, and David Needers, Dr. Needers will come out sometimes and watch me do it. We caught a mean fish. It bites people. We threw the fish into the fishing pool. I would never go fishing again. That's my response. That's what I had in common. That's from my sixth grade teacher. My teacher was like, better next time, Quinn. Maybe next time you can try focusing about what fish you're getting, okay? Yeah. Alright, let's talk about the brothers in arms. This is from the answers. Uh, this is from the stories. Can't remember which chapter it was, but. Alright.
Huro was shot in a drive-by shooting while trying to protect Martin. 2. Mr. Mitchell told his English class to write a paragraph about a person who was a hero to them. 3. What does Martin's mother hinted at that hurt him like an invisible gash? She blamed him for Huro's death. 4. After Martin explained that his brother was dead, the elderly woman gave him a rose to put on Huro's grave. 5. Martin was disturbed by the realization that the bullet that killed Huro was probably meant for Frankie. 6. Martin punched Steve in the jaw after Steve tried to show him up on the basketball court. 7. Martin's mom shook him
Martin.
awake after he dreamed that he was the driver of the white sedan. 8. What had Martin done that impressed Vicky? He had said something nice about her grandmother. 9. What happened when Steve and his friends faced Frankie's gang? Martin stepped in so that Steve and the guys could go. 10. Martin knew that the only way to keep
Frankie for killing him was to convince Frankie that Martin had nothing else to lose. So nice try, woman. You didn't even say Martin's right. How pathetic. I really said Martin in the beginning of the story. I don't know if I did Harley's story or not. Well, if I did, let me know. Video questions by me. So, what does the quantum mechanics describe? This is video Schrodinger's discovery of the shape of atoms. When was the theory of quantum mechanics invented? What did it find that the atom was made of? 3 particles. What is in the core of the atom? What is the first model of the atom scientists made? What did de Broglie know to spell electrons? What did Schrodinger create? What did he call it? What does the equation allow him to create? What do they call the blobby shape of the electron? When you take the measurement of the electron, what happens to the wave function? What 2 sciences did this create a link between? What do you think? Alright, we have like 2 minutes before Alright, one more assignment. This can be about Jake's response or something. Alright, the next one I'm going to be doing is let's do insects. About what Connor has put. So insect, eat, little skin, 6 legs outside. So that's what Connor put in my Google Doc that I was gonna do. But he just did it for me. He turned the Chromebook next towards him. Yeah, he took the Chromebook towards him. So all right, somehow the TV went off. Um, all right, hope you guys have a good day. I will see you guys in the next part tomorrow. I have to log off now.